Welcome to the channel, guys. I wanted to show you all my Aero Precision EPC9 build. If you've been around the channel for a while, you may have seen the video on this from about 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. That video did originally get deleted by YouTube, but I did some editing and re-uploaded it like maybe a year ago. I'll put a card on the screen with a link to that video if you want to go back and watch it. Like I said, it's one of my older videos back when I first started the channel, so might be a little bit cringy, more cringy than my newer videos, but bear with me. But the reason why I wanted to go over it with you guys today is I've made an upgrade to this gun. I've added a super safety to it. Now this is a direct blowback AR9. A lot of people do add super safeties to direct blowback AR9s. I was a little bit hesitant at first because there is a possibility for an out of battery discharge if you don't have your gun tuned up and running just right. Now I have a lot of faith in my competency at building these guns. I've been building them for about 20 years now, and I've got dozens and dozens and dozens of builds under my belt at this point. Direct blowback AR9s are a bit different than your AR-15s. There's definitely a bigger concern of bolt bounce. AR9 can have significantly more recoil than an AR-15. You've got a lot more reciprocating mass in there moving around. One part that I strongly advocate for on any AR9 build is a Kinshot hydraulic buffer. I've got one in every AR9 build that I own, and they make a significant difference in felt recoil, how flat the gun will stay, and how smooth it shoots. Now, if you can't tell by now just by looking at it, this is a little bit of a special AR9 in more ways than one. In my mind, when I started this build, I wanted it to be an integrally suppressed AR9 where the gas bleeds off into the suppressor and you're able to slow supersonic ammo down to subsonic speeds. Alas, I was unable to accomplish that at the time. It would be easily done now with the parts you can get from Broad River Tactical. Broad River Tactical offers fantastic AR9 barrels that are ported and threaded for an SD suppressor. But at the time I built this gun, that either didn't exist or was just simply unknown to me. So the route I ended up going was putting a really short barrel into this gun with a really long suppressor. And it is a very, very, very quiet gun. It's got such a long suppressor that it would have a hard time not being quiet. So just so you're familiar with the build, I'll go over this gun really fast, the parts that went into it, and where we're at now. Then we'll do a little bit of shooting. So be sure to hang in there. If you're not interested in the parts, if you're watching on your phone, double tap on the right side of your screen, skip forward, get to the shooting part. Or I always add chapters to my full-length videos. Hover over the timeline, you'll find the chapter where the shooting begins. All right, starting with the stock, I'm running the Magpul SL-K. This is their smaller stock. I think it suits this gun perfectly. It goes really well with this gun. It has an M-lock slot here at the rear. I've added a BCM QD mount for a sling mount. And like I said, I just think it looks good on this gun. The Aero Precision EPC9 upper and lower, I bought those as stripped receiver sets. I was running an Aero Precision EPC9 bolt carrier group, but I did just switch that out for a Faxon bolt carrier group. Now there's an important reason that I switched bolt carrier groups that I'll get to in a moment. Coming on up, the rail I'm running is a Troy Mlok rail. This is a really old rail that came out when M-lock was very first introduced. There's nothing super special about it. It has M-lock on 7 sides with a continuous Picatinny rail across the top, but it does have an internal diameter large enough to accommodate a 1.5-inch suppressor. The barrel in this gun is a Foxtrot Mike 5-inch 9mm barrel, and the suppressor I'm running is an 8.8-inch Form 1 suppressor that I built myself. I wish I could show you guys the internals of the suppressor, but YouTube is real strict about Form 1 suppressors, and just mentioning a Form 1 suppressor could get me a channel strike or get this video age restricted, so I'm just going to leave it right there. I can't remember if my original video shows the internals of the suppressor or not. Like I said, it's linked on a card at the beginning of the video, and I'll try to drop a link in the description as well, so be sure to check the video description. Here you can see the can fitted inside the rail. It's a very tight fit, and it makes the M-LOK slots completely useless. The can does come down to about right here on the inside of the rail. So you can imagine under long strings of fire, this handguard can get pretty hot. That's why I'm running the burn-proof gear rail wrap. Really nice piece of gear. I absolutely love this rail wrap. I could shoot this gun all day long without the rail burning my hand. On top of that, I really like the look it gives to the gun. Real quick on the accessories, I'm running Midwest Industries combat sights. Really nice minimalist sights that fold away. Running an Aimpoint Comp M5 red dot. I've got a nano tool back here on the only usable M-LOK slots, or these slots here at the very back. And on the other side, I've got a QD sling mount. And I've got a sentry strap here to help keep the sling stowed away, tied up close to the firearm. The weapon light I'm running is a 600 series Arisaka light body with a Malkoff head, and that's mounted with an Arisaka Picatinny mount. For my pistol grip, I'm running the Difrico Kung Fu grip with the grip plug. Really awesome grip. Definitely one of, if not my favorite pistol grip for the AR. I'm sure you guys are seeing them everywhere. They've become very popular. They've got a really great look to them. I love how vertical the grip is. The angle of the grip positions your wrist perfectly for shorter firearms, or if you want to run your stock in a little closer. You don't have to crank your wrist around to an unnatural position. All right, now we'll get down to the nitty gritty. The fire control group, that's the changes that we've made. That's why I'm making this video today. Like I said in the beginning, I've added a super safety to this gun. Now with an AR9, it's a little more than just dropping the parts in. And the reason I had to switch bolt carrier groups, I probably didn't absolutely have to, but if you're familiar with the AR9, it has a weight located in the rear of the bolt carrier group, and that weight can interfere with the trip surface on the bolt carrier group. And that's absolutely what happens with the super safety lever. So you have to modify that weight by shaving away a little bit of the surface so it doesn't contact your lever before the trip on the bolt carrier group does. You want the trip of the bolt carrier group to contact your lever and nothing else. If you don't modify the weight is going to trip your lever before the trip does, and it's going to trip it early, and the gun's just simply not going to function. I did create a YouTube short that showed the process, or at least walked you through the process of doing that. If you're unsure about how to go about making that modification, be sure to check that YouTube short out. It's titled Super Safe AR9 BCG Mod, if you needed to search for it on YouTube. So back to the reason I switched bolt carrier groups. Apparently the EPC9 bolt carrier group has been known to have some problems when it comes to this modification, though it can be done and can be done successfully. I also read about the bolt carrier group having some problems with bolt bounce, which I never did really experience or notice in my build, but I didn't want to take any chances on that since we were going to be running the super safety. If you get bolt bounce with the super safety, you just end up with a dead trigger. It will not function. More than likely with this Ken shot buffer, I probably wouldn't have had a problem. Now, the reason I went with the Faxon Gen 2 AR9 bolt carrier group, it has a very, very good reputation. Probably the best reputation of AR9 bolt carrier groups. And on the super safety forums, that's what everybody suggested and recommended. So I just went ahead and picked up one, made the modification, and that's what we got in the gun here today. My super safety parts are from Deez Nutz Tactical. That's where I buy all my super safety parts. All right, guys, I've went over all the parts, all the modifications that I've made. Now, besides the modification that you need to make to the weight in the bolt carrier group, the rest of the super safety parts just drop in. They take the place of your original safety. So you'll get a cam with a lever, very easy to install. All right, guys, we've went over this build front to back. You guys know it inside and out. You know the modification I made to get the super safety to work in it. I haven't shot it yet. I'll do that on camera with you all. Let me get set up. Let's take some shots and see how it works. I'll be shooting 147 grain, full metal jacket, round nose, 9mm ammo. This is subsonic. Shouldn't be any need for ears. And for those that are not aware, your super safety is a push button safety, kind of like your old 22 rifles or maybe an old BB gun. When it's sticking out all the way to the left side, that's safe. When it's all the way to the right side, that's semi. Right in the middle is super safe mode. All right, let's start out in semi-auto and see how the gun's gonna cycle. All right, got a good ejection pattern. The gun's cycling fine. Nice soft shooter with that Kin shot hydraulic buffer. Let's switch it over to super safe and have a little fun. Yeah, we're gonna keep it in super safe. Let's go through another mag. There you can see we did get locked back. You can see there I was able to keep the gun on those steel plates. That would be a much harder task without that Kin shot hydraulic buffer. Now this gun's nowhere near as soft and flat shooting as my MP5s or my Broad River Tactical Car 15 SD, which is a radial delayed blowback. But it's also nowhere near as bad as a normal blowback AR9 with the addition of that Kin shot hydraulic buffer. And for the record, I know I've plugged a few companies and products. I don't have any affiliation with Kin shot whatsoever. They don't know I exist, but I do really like their product. Like I said, I have them in all my blowback AR9s. I think I've got like 4. Just a product that I have experience with, that I know works well, that I'm comfortable recommending to anybody interested in making their AR9 a little softer shooting with a little less muzzle rise and smoother cycling. All right, guys, problem with that super safety is you run through ammo very fast. Let me take a second, load up another magazine. Again, I'll start off in semi-auto. I want you guys to hear how quiet this can is. Put a couple rounds into the pond. On the other side of the field. All right, super safe, and we'll go into the pond down there so you'll get that reverb from the rounds hitting. Really fun gun, guys. I've got a lot more content coming up on super safeties, FRTs and such, so if that's something you all are interested in, be sure to subscribe with all notifications. If you don't check all notifications, it's unlikely YouTube will put my videos in your feed. They don't like gun channels, and they seem to especially not like smaller gun channels. So if you're interested in cool gun builds, suppressors, super safeties, FRTs, all the cool stuff, make sure you're subscribed with all notifications. Stay safe, stay dangerous, and be sure to catch me on the next video.